Have you ever felt invisible, like no matter how much you give, no one truly sees your worth? It's a painful feeling, but here's the truth. Your value doesn't decrease just because others fail to recognize it. Too many people live chained to opinions, waiting for validation that never comes. But freedom begins the moment you stop looking outward and start looking inward. In this video, we'll explore how to value yourself even when nobody else does. Because once you embrace your true worth, you become unshakable, unstoppable, and free to live as your authentic self. Recognizing your inherent worth. Your worth is not something you earn, it is something you are born with. Too often, we are conditioned from childhood to believe that our value depends on achievement, appearance, or approval from others. We are taught to seek gold stars, grades, promotions, or compliments as proof that we matter. But the truth is, you mattered before you achieved anything. You mattered before anyone praised you. You mattered simply because you exist. Your very breath is evidence that you carry value no one else can give or take away. When you tie your worth to the opinions of others, you hand them the keys to your identity. Imagine placing your self-esteem in the hands of people who are themselves broken, insecure, or unaware of their own value. Their blindness to your greatness says more about them than it does about you. A person who cannot recognize their own worth will never be able to see yours clearly. And yet, many of us spend years begging for scraps of validation, as if someone else's approval is the currency of our self-respect. But real transformation begins when you reclaim your value from the hands of others and anchor it deep within yourself. This means looking in the mirror and recognizing that your worth is not conditional. It does not depend on whether someone stays or leaves, whether you succeed or fail, or whether people cheer for you or criticize you. Your worth is constant, unchanging like the sun. Even on cloudy days, the sun is still shining, it's only hidden from view. Likewise, your worth remains intact even when others fail to see it. Recognizing your inherent worth also means learning to separate your identity from your performance. Yes, you may make mistakes. Yes, you may fail at times, but failure does not diminish your value. It only refines your growth. Think about gold. When it is placed in fire, it does not lose its worth. It becomes purer. You too are like gold. Every challenge you face, every disappointment you endure, and every setback you overcome is shaping you, but none of it reduces your value. Spiritually, you were created with intention. You were not an accident or an afterthought. The universe, or God, whatever you believe, did not place you here without purpose. The very fact that you are alive, breathing, and listening to these words is proof that you are significant. And when you start to see yourself through this lens, you stop measuring your worth by temporary circumstances. You begin to carry yourself with quiet confidence, knowing that you are already enough. So, the first step in valuing yourself when nobody else does is to stop waiting for outside confirmation. Stop asking the world, "Am I good enough?" and start affirming to yourself, "I am worthy as I am." This shift in perspective is the foundation of true self-respect. Once you recognize your inherent worth, you stop chasing validation and start living from a place of inner strength and dignity, detaching from external validation. One of the most difficult but liberating lessons in life is learning to detach your sense of worth from the opinions of others. From childhood, most of us are conditioned to seek approval, whether from parents, teachers, friends, or society at large. We crave to hear, "You did well," or "I'm proud of you." While encouragement is uplifting, it becomes dangerous when our entire identity depends on it. Because the moment the praise stops, or worse, turns into criticism, our self-worth begins to crumble. That is the trap of external validation. It keeps you chained to the ever-changing opinions of others. Here's the reality. People's opinions are unstable. They are influenced by their own moods, insecurities, and limited perspectives. Someone may value you today and dismiss you tomorrow, not because your worth changed, but because their perception did. If your value is built on their recognition, you will always be on shaky ground. You'll find yourself bending, compromising, and reshaping who you are just to earn approval. And in the process, you lose sight of your authentic self. Detaching from external validation is not about becoming cold, arrogant, or uncaring. It doesn't mean you stop appreciating encouragement or stop listening to wise feedback. What it means is that you stop allowing the voices of others to dictate your identity. It means recognizing that validation from others can be encouraging, but it is not essential for your survival or your self-worth. You begin to understand that external recognition is a bonus, not the foundation. This shift requires a mindset reset. Instead of asking, do they like me? Do they approve of me? Ask yourself, am I being true to myself? Am I living according to my values? When you shift the focus from outward approval to inner alignment, you regain your power. You no longer walk into a room, hoping to be accepted. You walk in, already knowing you belong because you accept yourself first. Spiritually, detaching from validation is about returning to the source of your worth. You are already whole and complete within. If you anchor your identity in divine truth, in the reality that you were created with purpose, then no one's rejection can diminish you. The more you practice affirming yourself through prayer, affirmations, meditation, or journaling, the less you rely on others to do it for you. You stop being a beggar of love and respect and start being the source of it for yourself. Another powerful outcome of detachment is freedom. When you no longer live for others' approval, you unlock the courage to take risks, to chase dreams, and to stand firm in your truth. You stop shrinking to fit into spaces that don't honor you. You stop silencing your voice out of fear of judgment. And ironically, the moment you stop chasing validation, you begin to attract genuine respect because people are drawn to authenticity and confidence. The key to valuing yourself when nobody else does is this: do not make your self-worth conditional. Let your value flow from within, not from applause. When you detach from external validation, you rise above the noise of opinion and find the quiet strength of self-respect. That strength becomes your shield in a world that often fails to recognize true worth, building inner confidence and self-respect. Valuing yourself when nobody else does is not just about rejecting negative opinions. It's about actively building a foundation of inner confidence and self-respect so strong that no storm can shake it. Think of confidence as a muscle. You don't wake up one day fully empowered. You strengthen it daily through consistent choices, habits, and mindsets. And self-respect is the discipline that protects that confidence. Without self-respect, confidence becomes fragile. With it, confidence becomes unshakable. The first step to building inner confidence is honoring your own voice. Too often, people silence themselves because they fear rejection. But every time you silence your truth, you send a message to yourself that your voice doesn't matter. Confidence grows when you begin to express yourself, whether it's standing up for your values, saying no when necessary, or pursuing your passions despite doubts. The more you speak and act in alignment with who you are, the more you prove to yourself that your voice is worthy of being heard. Self-respect also requires setting boundaries. If you allow others to walk over your time, energy, and dignity, you are unintentionally teaching yourself that you are not worthy of protection. But every boundary you set becomes a declaration of your value, saying, I will not tolerate disrespect. I will not overextend myself to please people. I will not accept less than I deserve. Is not selfish. It is sacred. Boundaries are the walls that guard the kingdom of your self-worth. Another pillar of inner confidence is competence. When you commit to learning, growing, and sharpening your skills, you build evidence for yourself that you are capable. Small daily wins matter. Finish the workout you promised yourself. Complete the project you started. Keep the commitments you make to yourself. Each kept promise. It builds trust in yourself. Confidence is not built on what others think you can do. It is built on what you repeatedly prove to yourself that you can do. Spiritual practices also play a key role in cultivating inner strength. Meditation, prayer, or reflection connects you to a deeper source of power beyond human opinion. When you align with divine truth, you realize your worth does not fluctuate with likes, comments, or applause. You are valuable simply because you exist. This realization shifts your focus from seeking external validation to radiating inner certainty. You stop asking, "Am I enough?" and start declaring, "I am enough because I was created with purpose." Most importantly, valuing yourself is about consistency. It's not enough to believe in yourself only when life is going well. Real self-respect is proven when you continue to hold your head high even when you're overlooked, rejected, or misunderstood. It's the courage to keep walking your path even when no one else cheers for you. That unwavering consistency is what transforms self-belief from fragile hope into unstoppable momentum. When you build inner confidence and self-respect, you stop waiting for the world to recognize your value. You become the recognition. You become the source of belief, dignity, and strength. And eventually the world cannot help but notice, because a person who values themselves radiates a light that cannot be ignored. At the end of this journey, I want you to pause and take a deep breath. Ask yourself honestly, am I waiting for others to see me before I see myself? Am I hoping for their recognition before I grant myself my own? If the answer is yes, then today is the day you step out of that trap. Because here's the truth. Your value does not begin with people, and it does not end with them. It begins with you, and it expands as far as you allow it to. Life will not always hand you applause. People will not always cheer for your progress. Sometimes the ones you thought would support you will be the very ones who doubt you. And if you are not rooted in your own worth, that doubt will shake you. But when you value yourself deeply, you build a foundation that no rejection, no silence, and no criticism can break. You begin to understand that validation is a gift, not a necessity. And when it doesn't come, you no longer crumble, you rise. Valuing yourself means understanding that your worth is not negotiable. You don't become valuable because someone compliments you. You don't lose value because someone ignores you. Your value is constant, like gold buried deep underground. Whether people see it or not, whether they recognize it or not, the value remains the same. Your job is not to convince the blind to see your worth. It is to continue shining until the right eyes recognize the light you carry. And here's the beauty. When you begin to truly value yourself, the world around you shifts. You stop chasing approval and start attracting respect. You stop begging to be included and start creating your own space. You stop lowering your standards just to fit in and start raising your standards to align with who you truly are. The world may resist at first, but eventually it will have no choice but to respect what you respect in yourself. Remember, self-value is not arrogance. It is not about eyeing, I am better than others. It is about saying, I will no longer be less than myself. That is the true power. When you stop shrinking, when you stop apologizing for existing, when you finally stand tall in your God-given worth, you not only change your own life, you inspire others to rise as well. So let this be your reminder. Do not wait another day for people to recognize you. Recognize yourself. Do not wait for permission to step into your greatness. Give yourself that permission now. Because the moment you decide to value yourself, everything in your life begins to align with that decision. Relationships shift, opportunities emerge, confidence rises. Your value is not up for debate. It never has been. And when you finally believe that, when you finally live that truth, the world won't be able to ignore it any longer. Stand tall, value yourself, and let the world catch up to the brilliance you already carry within you.